Hey miniature lovers, J-Star here, and today I've got a miniature makeover. I found these clocks on Temu, but it was, you get 5 random styles, which I really hate, but at $2.40 for 5 of them, that's less than 50 cents a piece. I thought I'd take the gamble, and I ended up getting 5 that I really liked. Today, I want to make over these 2 clocks. Now they're very similar to a couple of clocks that my grandmother used to have. One was black and one was white, and they had flowers painted on them, and they had gold edging, and they were really beautiful. These aren't her clocks, but they're similar enough for you to get the idea. So the first thing I want to do is find new clock faces. I do like the clock face on the darker clock, but they're both printed on, and I think it'll just be easier for me to put new ones on. So I pulled out my hole punch, which was almost the size of the clock face, and I pulled out some design magazines. Basically, I want to flip through the magazines and see if I can find a photograph of a clock face that I like and will fit the hole punch. I lucked out, and in the second magazine, I found a really beautiful clock. The face is a little smaller than my hole punch, but I can make it work. I plan to add a jump ring around the face of the clock and then fill it with UV resin to make a glass bezel. To line my hole punch up over the face of the clock, I turn it upside down so I can see what I'm punching. The new clock face covers the old clock face perfectly, and when I add a 10mm jump ring, it's perfect. To find a good clock face, look for pictures of mantles, bookcases, or these pages where they have the what's hot stuff, and auction advertisements. You can usually find good clock faces there. As I was flipping through, I noticed this little image of a swatch of fabric, and I had an idea. I had planned to paint tiny flowers on the sides of these clocks, but I'm not a great painter, so I was going to do sort of dot painting with the end of a toothpick and just make the idea of flowers and leaves. But my idea was, instead of painting flowers, why not decoupage some beautiful flowers onto my clock? I'll hang on to this and I'll find something for the black clock as well. And yes, black clock. I'm going to make one clock cream and one clock black, just like my grandmother's. So I give them 2 coats of basic craft paint, antique parchment, and black, and I let them dry. I found this image of a beautiful gold background wallpaper, which I thought would be perfect for my little clock. And I think these 2 areas will be perfect to cover the sides of the clock. Using the clock as my guide, I cut out 2 strips of the wallpaper. As I was doing this, I realized I could also cover the backs of the clocks with these cool papers. I lined up the image I wanted on the back, and then with a 120 grit sanding block, I carefully went around the edges and sanded off the excess. I also decided I should cover the face where those weird gear things were. And now I've got all my pieces, I'll glue them on. I love how it's coming together, and I'm not worried about those rough edges because I will be adding gold to cover all of them up. And here are the papers I've added to the white clock. I love how it looks. I guess I didn't take pictures of working on the bezel, but here's what I did. I lined up the jump ring over the punched out clock face, and I used a tiny bit of glue to hold it down. Then I filled the jump ring with a big drop of UV resin and let it mound up to create a domed bezel. Then I stuck it under the UV light to cure. While the UV light was working its magic on the resin, I got busy with my gold paint pen. I went around all the edges and, well, basically everything that was a raised design. Then I let them dry very well. Once they were dry, I gave both of them a coat of matte Mod Podge. I decided they didn't have quite enough gold on them, so I added a few star-shaped metal nail charms. Then finally, I glued on the resin-coated bezel and clock face. And here are my 2 beautiful made-over mantle clocks. Can you believe that's how we started? And with a few simple steps, we got to this beautiful clock. And I'm very glad that I didn't have to paint the flowers on the clocks myself. And here's the before and after of the black clock. Again, the shapes of the plastic clocks were great. They just didn't have much else going for them. Now, they've got a lot going on. And I, for one, am here for it, because more is more. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please like and subscribe and leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. From the tiny Chateau Étoile, this is J-Star saying have a great day and keep making mini.